Hello, I'm Allison, and this is a project on RNN and transformer-based gesture detection. Let's walk through the model. Here's a diagram of our pipeline. So first, we pre-process the data. So we add media pipe hand landmarks on the gesture videos and segment them into individual gestures. Next, we train our models, and we're using an LSTM model and a more complex transformer-based model. And finally, we plot graphs to evaluate the performance of the model and perform a hyperparameter search for optimization. So here's an example from the IPN dataset, which is the dataset we're using. So above is the original video, and below is a pre-processed video with the media pipe hand landmarker. This is actually one of the harder examples because you can see that there's movement in the background and the lighting of the hands is not fixed. Here are some features we implemented. First, we use the hand landmarker, which helps the model perform better because it's given additional info about the data. Next, most baselines use CNNs and ResNets, but we built a bidirectional RNN and transformer model. And finally, we optimize the model by applying frame selection, which helps speed up training, and we tune the hyperparameters with grid search.
So this is a brief demo of our project. As you can see, when our hands come into frame, that it starts to detect the hand and put an overlay of the media pipe hand model onto the hand. This works for both hands, and since we set it in a certain way, it only detects one hand at a time. As you can see, the gestures are not entirely stable, and that is due to certain factors such as there not being a clear divider of what is considered a gesture, since it is a continuous video. However, certain gestures like point with one finger tend to work pretty well, although it is sometimes confused with click with one finger as well as two finger. Some other gestures that it does alright with is the non-gesture, so something like this would be considered non-gesture.
Next up are some graphs of our performance. Here's a matrix of our results compared to a really good baseline. Both models do really well, but they tend to confuse double-clicking with one finger with pointing and single-clicking with one finger, and the same for two fingers as well. The transformer also greatly outperforms a simple LSTM, as it reaches a 90% validation accuracy as opposed to a 60% accuracy. Both models have relatively low variance. Finally, both models have pretty good true and false positive rates, but as you can see, the transformer model also beats the baseline here.